Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Creating Cards with Debbie. My name is Debbie Foster, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I'm located in Bismarck, Arkansas, and I want to welcome you here today. Be sure that you like and share the video when you come on, and let me know where you're watching me from. It's kind of fun to see where everyone is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera around, and we'll get started with the program today. So hold tight. All right. Like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie. And I want to welcome you here today, like I said. And if you're watching me on YouTube, be sure that you click that subscribe button. And there's a little bell that you can click that'll notify you when I go live also. And if you're watching me on Facebook, be sure that you hit the like button and the share button. And let me mute my phone. I didn't do my notifications yet. 1 second, please. And do not disturb. All right. Okay, like I said, I'm creating cards with Debbie. And if you want to shop in my online store for any items that I'm showing today or any paper crafting needs that you might have, you can go to my store, which is www.stampinup. Wait a minute, back it up. www.debbiefoster.stampinup.net. And the March host code that you'll use today or for this rest of March is AJGSRVHY. And that's also scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. So I'm going to leave that scrolling for a bit, and we're going to go ahead and get on with our other housekeeping things. All right, we're in the month of March, and you've got today's the last day that you have to sign up for the March paper pumpkin kit, which is called Daisy Daydream. And it seems dark in here. My lighting isn't very good today. Okay, Daisy Daydream. You've got until today to subscribe to this kit. And it says, send sweet greetings with gorgeous cards featuring bees, honeycomb, and daisies. It makes 9 cards, 3 each of 3 designs with 9 coordinating envelopes, specialty gold foil and pre-cut vellum accents, unique paper cut pieces, and the Stampin' Spot that you get with this one is going to be Lost Lagoon. And this kit also comes in a beautiful box with a free additional stamp set. So you'll get 2 stamp sets instead of 1. And you can add on the dies that coordinate with January, February, and March. And they are called, let me see here a moment. They are called Spring is in the Air dies. And I've got mine right here. I'll show you instead of showing you the paper. You get all these dies with it. They coordinate with the January, February, and March paper pumpkin kits. Cute little bee here. And the item number for that to add on to your paper pumpkin subscription is 166237. And I believe they're $12. So that's a pretty good price for all those dies. All right. And don't forget that Stampin' Up! Now has the scrapbooking workshop kits. So you can go into my store, and on the column there it says scrapbooking. You click on that and it'll bring up all the scrapbooking items. So if you're a scrapbooker, not a card maker, we've got you fixed up here too. So, okay. All right. And the links for all these items that I'm talking about are in the description of my video also. So if you miss anything, you can look back at that. And let me take that off my scroll there. Okay, so today we're going to be working on the Storybook Friends Bundle. So it's the dies. Oops, what did I do with my dies? Okay, so here's the package for them. All my cutouts I put in a little package and keep with my dies. So I've got those already cut out ahead of time if I ever need any extras. And let me bring up my comments. Be sure you say hello when you come on. All right, so Storybook Friends Bundle is what we're using today. And this can be found in the mini catalog. I have mine out here. Let me grab that. It's in our mini catalog. It runs from January to the end of April. So we're getting close to the April already being the end of this. So let me bring that up here. I'll show you what page it's all on. It's got a big old suite of everything. It's got, the suite has 2 different stamp sets, but I'm using the Storybook Friends one today. It also has the Storybook Garden Patch, which is also cute, and it's got the coordinating dies that go along with that. And we've got 2 papers. We've got the DSP, the Storybook Moments 12 by 12, and we're using that today. And then it also has the Timeless Plaid 6 by 6 designer series paper. So lots of choices in here to pick from. And here's some samplings. And well, it starts on page, is it page 24? Well, really it starts on page 23. It shows you some samples of what you can do. I love Stampin' Up catalogs also because it also gives you some ideas of what you can do with each item that you purchase. So, but this one runs until April, or no, it's good until May 5th is what it runs from. All right, let's go ahead and get our things out here and get started. I'm going to put that over there for now. Okay. Feels like I'm forgetting something. I'm not sure what. So here's our first card that we're going to be doing. It says, "Hey, friend." And then on the inside, I've got "Some bunny loves you." So that could be for any age group, young or old. And let me get some over here. Oh, I forgot to tell you about our starter kit also. You can get your Stampin' Up! Starter kit. And what you do is you pay $99, free shipping, and you get to pick out $125 worth of products. And after you get your kit, when you put your orders in after that, you get a discount on your purchase. So if you've got any questions on that, reach out to me. Either private message me on Facebook or you can email me. My email address is down in the description of the video. So I'd love to have you on my team. And who doesn't want to save money? We buy the products, we might also save some money along the way. And we've got a great team that we are working with. So lots of fun, lots of new friends. All right, so we're going to start out with our card base, which is our Lost Lagoon, and it is 4 1/4 inches by 11 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 5 1/2 inches. We're going to burnish that edge of our fold with our bone folder to give it a good crisp fold. And I might need my instructions here, so let me grab those. All right, and then I've got, oh, I didn't grab my embossing folder. Hold on one second. I got to grab my embossing folder so I can show you which one I use. Surprised it's not in there. Okay, I'm using the Plaster Painting 3D embossing folder. And you can find this in our online exclusives. So I've got our Lost Lagoon cardstock here. And this layer measures 4 3/16 by 5 7/16. And I've embossed that with our embossing folder already. And it's showing up pretty good. It's got a good impressions on there. All right. And our designer series paper comes from the Everyday Happiness 12 by 12 designer series paper. And we're using this pattern right here. And that measures 3 3/4 inches by 5 inches. And so we're going to start layering these before we attach them to our card. So this is going to go on top of here. But first, I need another strip of paper here. I thought I had these all set. Let me grab my Lost Lagoon, which is where? See, I thought I was prepared and I'm not. Okay, I've got a brand new one here I need to open. Oh, a little FYI for everybody too is that when the new annual catalog comes out in May, the cost of our cardstock is going to be going up some. And also, if you use the thick white cardstock, that is no longer going to be available in the 8.5 by 11 inch. It'll only be available in the 12 by 12 inch. So if you want some of that before then, I'd stock up now before the prices go up and where it's no longer available. All right. This needs to be a 1/2 inch by 3 3/4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and cut this down. And a 1/2 inch is right there. By 3 3/4 is what I said. Yes. 3 3/4. All right, so we're going to set that aside for a moment. We're going to have to emboss that later when we get that far. Well, we could go ahead and do it right now. We're going to stamp that with Hey Friend, which will go on the left side of that. Or no, Hello Friend. And we're going to use Black Memento ink. We're going to stamp it, and then we're going to emboss the other side of it. So I'm going to put this off to the left side of our 1/2 inch layer. Hello, friend. Close up our ink pad. And I'm going to have to get off camera while I emboss this. So let me have my embossing folder back here. This is a 3D embossing folder. And I'm just going to set that right there. Well, I'm going to have to do it this way because it won't fit if it's sticking out the other side. So give me a moment. I'm going to run that through my embossing machine real quick. I hope I don't jiggle the camera too much. right, so as you can see, I didn't put the whole thing in there. I just put off to the right side of our sentiment. And now this is going to be glued onto our designer series paper, and maybe like 1/4 of an inch from the bottom. So I'm going to grab my liquid glue here, and we're going to attach that to our DSP. And is that straight? Scooch it up a bit. All right. And now we can attach that to our embossed layer. I see some I need to snip off here. It's a little bit longer. So let me grab my scissors and we'll trim that off a little bit. Just a hair. And then we're going to put that onto our embossed layer of our Lost Lagoon. And get it fairly straight on there. Hi, Rebecca. How are you doing today? Glad you're here. Oops, I'm shaking my table here a little bit. All right, now we're going to put this onto our card front with my trustworthy Tombow glue. Oh, goodness, I'm making a mess here. I have to bring out my glue eraser, I guess. I didn't mute my notifications on my computer. All right, so here's the front of our card so far. And did I glue that together on the inside? Well, open my card here. I think I got some glue on the inside. I did. Let me get my glue eraser out here and take care of that. I thought it slid inside of my card. Yeah. This is going to be covered up anyway, so I'm not real concerned about it. All right, so here's our card front so far. And I'm going to set that aside because we're going to work on our rabbit that goes there. So first off, we're going to stamp our rabbit. I was looking to see if that was a cutout one or if I stamped it. I guess I did stamp it. And we're going to do the little girl bunny and the boy bunny. You're hanging in there? I guess that's about all we can all do, huh? All right, we're going to stamp the little boy. Did you have a good weekend? All right, and I'm going to set those aside and let my ink dry a little bit so I don't smear it with my blends. And I have taken our dies and I've used this to cut out our Lost Lagoon, and that gives us our little frame. And then I cut it out again with the white to get the center portion. Okay, I think that's all the dies I need to use. Yeah. So we're going to take our frame and our center portion with the white cut out. And I'm going to I'm not prepared at all. I don't have my inks over here. Hold on a second. I was running a little bit late this morning, so I guess I'm kind of discombobulated. Lost Lagoon. My old set pens. And a blending brush. I'm going to bring out my Lost Lagoon ink pad. This is one of our old ones, but it's still usable. I know I love these frames that come with this. It's got this one here, and it's also got this little square one. They're kind of old-fashioned looking frames, I think. I love them too. All right, so we're going to take our Lost Lagoon, and we'll take our centerpiece, and I'm going to put some Lost Lagoon color onto it. And not a lot, just to give it a little color to tone down the white a little bit. I probably got more than I need on here, but that's okay. Right, and that's going to go onto our frame, and I'm going to bring my silicone mat over here so I can attach that. And I'm going to grab my Scotch tape. Well, trying to think what I can use. Scotch tape might be too wide. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put it onto my card and then place it on there. So let me do a dry fit here first where I want it to be. So it's going to go off to the left side a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and add some glue to the center of my oval. Place that down. And then I'll pick up the frame and I'll put some dots of glue onto that to hold that down. Don't need a lot, just here and there, a couple dots. And place around our oval. Very pretty. Okay, so now we can bring our coloring back over here. And I'm going to use my Stampin' Blends. And I've got Pretty in Pink, Crumb Cake, and Lost Lagoon as my colors. Put it back on that blue and put that out of the way. So I'm going to start with our crumb cake. I'm going to start with the dark crumb cake. And we're going to do some coloring. I love these little bunnies. They're so cute. And kind of watching the clock if I want to color this whole thing or just do partial. Because I've already got one colored ahead of time, so I don't have to color the whole thing if I don't have to. But we'll see what our time allows us. And get his arm over here. And do a small line along this ear. There. I'm going to come back in with the light crumb cake and do his nose, and mouth, and his chest, and his tail. And then we're going to do his ears with the I don't think I'm going to do the boy's ears with the pink. I'm going to use the light crumb cake for the inside of his ears. The pink might be a little bit too girlish for him. We'll use the pink on the girl ears. And then I'm going to use the Lost Lagoon dark for his bow tie. Use the dark in the center and then the light Lost Lagoon for the rest of the bow tie. So isn't he cute? And let's go ahead and do the girl. I'm going to start out with a dark crumb cake. I'm going to color her about the same way as I did the boy. So I'm going to start with the dark. I'm kind of leaving her nose. I can do that with the light crumb cake. And I'm going to get all of her body there. I need to. Let's come back with our crumb cake light. And I'm going to do the upper portion of her nose and under her chin right there with the light crumb cake. And also her little tail. I'm going to do the pretty in pink. I'm going to do the dark at the bottom of her ears, her one ear. I'll come back with the light pretty in pink and do the rest of her ear, the inner part. And her dress is going to be Lost Lagoon, the light and dark. So we're going to start with the dark. We'll do the collar dark. Just kind of outline her dress a little bit to give it some shading. All right, and then we'll come back in with the light Lost Lagoon. Well, I said I wasn't going to color all this, and I am anyway, so it didn't really take a whole long time, I guess. All right, I missed a spot on her leg there. Crumb cake here. Well, it was a dark crumb cake. A little spot right there I need to catch. All right, so we're going to bring our Baby Boss machine over here, and we're going to die cut these out. I agree, Becky. There's no part of this sweet that I don't like, I don't think. I liked it too well. All right. And cut this down so it fits in there easier. And we've got two dies that'll cut these guys out, the boy and the girl. And I'm going to use some washi tape to hold it in place. This is some tough washi tape. It's from a long time ago. Can't can't tear it with my fingers. I had to use the scissors. All right, so we're going to get her lined up there. And his die put on him. And our top plate over here. Try not to shake my table too much. All right, so there's our little boy. And here's the girl. Some things out of my way here. I'm going to glue their boy down straight onto our oval, but I'm going to put the girl up on our dimensionals. So let me grab those and my take your pick tool. And I'm going to place a couple of dimensionals behind her. And she's going to go right down here. Our little boy's going to go up here on the oval. We're just going to use our liquid glue to attach him. And center him on the oval. His ears are going to stick off a little bit on the top, but that's fine. Just going to make sure his feet are down towards the bottom. And we'll take off those dimensional backings. And we'll place her down here in the lower right-hand corner. And we've made a bow using the sheer ribbon. And this is our silver and white ribbon. Let me show you what that looks like. It's got silver trim with the sheer white in the middle. And I've already made a bow with that already, so I don't have to struggle on camera. And that's just going to go right underneath our frame, right below the little boy. And I'm going to use a mini glue dot. Place that in place. Take your pick tool to lift that off of my roll. And I can put it right there. I think my bow got messed up a little bit when it was in the package. All right, I could trim those tails off of this one side a little bit. There, shorten them up. Maybe shorten that one a little bit too much. And for our embellishment, we're going to use that suite has the mini pearls, antique pearls that go with that suite, but I'm going to use the flat adhesive back pearls instead. I can get them out of the package, I will. Okay, and again, I'll grab my take your pick tool, use the putty end, and we're going to grab one large one and two small ones. Oopsie. Flipped over on me. I'm going to just place them. Whoops. He doesn't want to go the right side. He wants to flip over. There we go. And a small one right above him. And another one will go up here on the top of the frame. like so. So you can see it right there. Okay, so here's the outside of our card. Now for the inside, card base here I don't have. Inside is going to be a white, basic white, 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to stamp that with Somebody Loves You. Using black memento ink. So I'm going to leave a space at the top. I think we've got a strip of designer series paper to put at the top. Somebody Loves You. And here's our strip of designer series paper. And this is 1/4 of an inch by 4 inches. 1/4 by 4. I'm going to put it at the top. Something a little bit different. Whoops, dropping scissors here. Let's put some glue on the back of that. And probably a 1/2 inch down. Let me use my grid paper to line this up to make sure it's looking good. That looks pretty good right there. And that can go on the inside of our card. Got a little adhesive or something right there. There, cut that off. All right. Hey, hello, friend. Somebody loves you. Okay, that's our first card. Straighten up here a bit, and we'll get on with our second card. Leave those out for a bit. And we're using the same sweep. Oops. Get this out of the way. I'm not going to allow myself so much room here to work with, so I need to kind of pick up each time. Okay, this one is a little fun fold. It says hello friend again at the bottom, and it opens this way, and then it opens again on the inside like this. So it's kind of a cute fold, I think. So we're going to do that. This was in one of our mystery stamping things in our team meeting that we had last month. So it's really cute. I loved it. I had to snitch it. All right, we're going to start out with our instructions, what I do with those. Well, what did I do with the instructions? I had them. Oh, goodness. I'm not very organized today for some reason. Yeah, maybe. Okay, I'm thinking this is it. I hope. All right, we're going to start out with our card base, which is Okay, 4 1/4 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And we're using the wild wheat cardstock. And then we've got another wild wheat cardstock, which is 3 1/4 inches by 8 1/2 inches. And this is scored in the center at 4 1/4 inches. So we're going to go ahead and fold that and burnish that score line, our fold. Their bone folder, which I have misplaced. Here it is. All right, and set that aside. And I'm using the 3-color glimmer specialty paper, 12 by 12. This comes in, this is an online exclusive. So it comes in 3 different colors. These 3. You can find that in the online exclusives. And that measures well, I don't have that measurement down. I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay, 3 1/2 inches by 4 1/2 inches. This is going to go in the center like that, and then our fun fold is going to go on top of that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these 2 together. Well, I'm going to wait with that. We're going to work on this fold first. Okay. I've die cut one of those frames again out of the wild wheat. And I did that with the wild wheat. And then to get my center portion, I did a very vanilla to get the oval frame in the center. All right. So I'm going to set those aside for a moment and get my bearings straight here. All right. And our designer series paper is 2 by 3 1/4 inches. And this is going to go across the center of our front flap. So I'm going to go ahead and place that down and get that out of my way. And this is all coming from the Storybook Moments 12 by 12 specialty paper. And we're using this pattern right here. Let's add our glue to that back layer. These are going to go on this front of the small flap. And kind of eyeball the center. It doesn't have to be precise. And let me take my frame. And I'm going to stamp the oval using another stamp set, which is called Elements of Text. And we're going to be using this stamp image right here. And I'm going to be using Wild Wheat ink. So I'm just going to ink that text image up. This is another one of my favorite stamps. And I'm going to stamp the center of that, or stamp that oval. Close that up. And I'm going to attach these together using some Scotch tape, I think. Well, I'm going to use my mini dimensionals. And my silicone mat over here. Oops, I thought those are my minis. It's not. Here's our minis. Take your pick tool, bring our frame over here. Make sure I'm still in camera view. And we're going to place that centered. Then we're going to grab our dimensionals and hold that in place and place down our mini dimensionals over the top of the frame and the oval, kind of butting them up against each other. You want to place part of it onto the framework and part of it onto the oval, so it holds it in place. And I'm going to use quite a few. I don't want it falling apart. Maybe another one right there. Some in the center. All right. You're looking at the wrong card. Might help if I look at the right one. And that's going to go in the center. Pop off those backings. Hear my husband out there doing something. I'm not sure what he's doing. Sounds like he's throwing something around. And he's pounding on something. All right, let's take that. Make sure our letters are going the right direction, not upside down. And we're going to place that centered onto our small fold. And looks good right there. And in the Storybook Moments, it's got little die cuts that you can punch out. Let me bring those out here and show you. There's 2 pages of die cuts. Grab a full pack here. That was kind of loud. I can get these out without dropping them all. There's 2 pages that have all the little die cuts, and they just punch out of the paper real easily. And we're going to be using this little mouse girl right here. Like I said, there's 2 sheets of those in the pack. And here's the one that I've already punched out. And she's going to go right on the center of our oval frame. And I didn't pop her up at all. I just glued her directly down. So set her in the center of our oval. All right, and we're going to bring back our glimmer paper here. We're going to attach that. Well, not yet. Back up. I've got another designer series paper, which has the print on the one side and then this on the other side that matches our front layer. And this measures 4 by 6 inches. And I've scored it at 1.5 inch and again at 4.5 inches. So I'm going to take my bone folder. I'm going to burnish those score lines. Got drops of these. And to the other side. And making sure it's going the right side up, I'm going to fold back our top flap a little bit on each side. And get them lined up. Increase the fold. It opens like this. Kind of looks like a shirt collar. All right, and then I've got a very vanilla cardstock that is 2 3/4 inches by 3 3/4 inches. And we're going to stamp our sentiment on the inside, which says Happy Spring. Using our black memento ink again. And to kind of put that centered. Oops. See, that's why we got two sides to our cardstock. I didn't stamp that very well. Now it's better. And then I want to stamp our sentiment at the bottom of our base. It says, hello, friend. It's going to go in the bottom right-hand corner. All right, now we can start assembling. This is going to go inside of our designer series paper here, this layer. We've got to take Jojo to the doctor this afternoon. Something's bothering her ears. I'm not sure. She's got, a while back she ended up with yeast infection in one of her ears. So I'm thinking maybe it's going on again. She needs to get some medicine for it. So I'll be taking a trip to the doctor's office with her. Oh, see, this goes inside of here. I'm talking and not paying attention. We're going to take that designer series paper that we've done. Add our glue to the back side of that. I'm getting carried away with this glue today. I'm getting it all over the place where I don't want it. And it's going to go on the bottom flap of our small fold. And get it centered. Glue off my fingers. All right. I'm going to attach this to the glimmer paper. And I want to make sure I get quite a bit of glue on here so it sticks to the glimmer paper really well. So a little bit extra glue. And I'm going to attach that with even borders going around, hopefully. Shut up a little bit. All right. Press that down for a while. Make sure it attaches. And we're going to add some glue to the back side of that and put it onto our base of our card. And we don't want to cover up our sentiment at the bottom, so make sure you're leaving that open. And that looks kind of crooked. No, I guess it's right. Just my eyes were playing tricks on me. Okay, so there's our card so far, but we need to add a bow. And we're using the wild wheat which is in the last chance section of my store. And it's marked down to $7.65 right now. So here's the ribbon. It's called Rustic Striped Ribbon, and it is the wild wheat color. And I made a double bow using that. It's going to go at the bottom of our frame here. And our mini glue dots. And place that right at the bottom of our frame. And I want to trim my tails maybe a little bit. And this one I'm going to be using the pearls that are in that suite, and they are called antique pearls. And I'm using 2 large ones and 1 small one. I guess they're the medium-sized ones. And we're going to put 2 up here. I think I'm going to put that onto the top of that also. And small one, maybe right there. I kind of like one at the top of the frame. Okay, so here's our second card. It says hello friend at the bottom. It opens like this, and then these open like this. It says happy spring. All right, so that's our second card. And straighten up here a little bit and get on with our third card. A little space there. Here's our third card. Let me move these out of the way. We're going to be doing some heat embossing with this one. So it says, thinking of you, which is heat embossed with a black embossing powder. And then it opens, it says, you make my life happier. So we're going to be using the sentiment that comes from Very Best Occasions. And both of those are from that same one. And thinking I didn't get that one, did I? Yeah, thinking of you. No. No, I didn't use that one. I used the inside sentiment comes from Very Best Occasions, but the outside thinking of you comes from the Sketch Butterflies. Right. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Get my instructions. All right, our card base is going to be boho blue, and this is one of our colors that's retiring too, so you might want to grab some of that before it's gone. All right, our card base is just our basic. It's 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches, and it's scored in the middle at 4 1/4 inches. And we're going to burnish our fold line on there. Got a little crinkle on my cardstock right there. Straighten that out. And then we've got our basic beige, which measures 4 1/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches. And that's going to be our mat that goes onto our card. And then I've got our designer series paper. I'm using this pattern first with the strawberries. That measures 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And we're going to go ahead and attach that to our basic beige. It's cute on the back side too. Love all this paper in this designer series pack. It's every one of them are really cute. It's hard to decide which side to use. And it's going to go onto our basic beige layer. And I'll keep a small edge going around it. Oops, I moved too much on me. Let me lift that up and fix it. With the liquid glue, you got time to slide your paper around if you need to, like I just did. It slipped on me. All right, that's going to go onto the front of our card. Make sure I got my fold opening the right way. And leaving a slight border going around. Oh, got a UPS delivery today. I wasn't expecting that today. I thought it was supposed to come Wednesday. Well, I like early. All right, so here's our card front. And then I've got another boho blue. And this one measures 3 1/8 inches by 4 3/8 inches. Is that right? Yeah. 3 1/8 inches by 4 3/4 inches. And I've taken our next layer of our designer series paper, and that measures, these just sticky enough to hold them together. That measures 2 3/4 inches by 4 1/2 inches, and then I cut them into 7 1/8 inch strips. And we're going to just layer that onto our boho blue. And I'm going to leave a small space in between each one. So I'm just kind of doing a dry fit here to make sure where I want to lay them at. And my silicone mat back over here. What did I do with that? Right beside me. I'll use that to add our glue, so we don't get glue all over everything again. And I'm going to turn my layer sideways here so I can get these lined up right. And you want to leave a little space all around them. I'm going to do my outside layers first. So again, I'm going to leave a little space on those 3 sides. And now our center one. And keep an even space between the inside and the outside, or the left side and the right side. It looks like this. All right, and I could pop that up on dimensionals, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to glue it flat down. The post office is happier that way. Less bulk. You got quite a few layers here already, so you don't really need that extra. All right, we're going to center that on the card front here. So here's what we have so far. And I have taken our basic beige and I have already die cut our banner. And I'm using the Nested Essentials dies. And I used this banner right here to die cut some banners out of the basic beige. And this is in the annual catalog, if you want to know where that is. All right, now we're going to take our Thinking of You, and we're going to grab our embossing supplies over here. We've got our toolkit for our embossing, and I'm going to use my supplies here. I've got my embossing buddy, and I've got a brush, reverse tweezers. These all come with this toolkit. And then my Versa Mark stamp pad. And we're going to, let me use my embossing buddy first to make sure there ain't no static cling on there. So we don't have embossing powder sticking where we don't want it stuck. And now we can think up our sentiment. Thinking of You. And we're going to stamp that midsection. So we're going to put some ribbon across the top of it. Put our lid back on our Versa Mark. And then I'm going to dump our black embossing powder onto the top of that. And I like to do mine twice to make sure I've got a good coverage of it. And I'm going to dip it too, just to be sure. 3 times is a charm. And I've got some specks right here. I'm going to use my brush to get rid of those. And I'll just set this aside. I'll clean it later. When you want to dump out your embossing powder, all you do is take this little cap off of this, and you can pour it back into your container. And so there's no waste. And I've got my heat gun over here plugged in already. I'm going to turn that on. I'm going to take my reverse tweezers to hold this with so I don't burn my fingers. Give that a second to warm up. Watch the magic. Starting to heat up. There we go. I'm going to do the back side to straighten the paper a little bit. One more swipe over it to make sure. You don't want to do it too much because it could burn your embossing powder. And then it won't be shining anymore. It'll be kind of dull looking. All right, so we've got that. Thinking of You. And now we're going to take our ribbon. I'm using the basic beige bordered ribbon. And I'm just going to wrap that around the top portion of that. So let me bring my silicone mat over here, and we're going to use our Stampin' Seal. Or you could use tear and tape, whichever you prefer. Put that on the back side to catch our ribbon there. And I'm not even going to measure. I'm just going to put it around it. So start at this side. Attach that on the back side. Ribbon scissors, snip that off. And we can put that onto our card front. I'm going to put it up in this corner, just so it's butting up against the boho blue layer there. And I'm going to use our liquid glue again. And attach that to the left upper corner. All right. So it'll look like this. And I have, did I make a bow ahead of time? Yeah. I've got a bow that goes along with that I made ahead of time. That's going to go over that ribbon layer using a mini glue dot again. And I take your pick tool. And we're going to place that over that ribbon, centered. Well, that's not very good. Let me pick that back up and lay it down like it needs to be. All right. Thinking of you. Let me put one underneath that. Maybe that's why it's wobbly. Let's snitch a mini glue dot and stick it underneath that center of that ribbon so it stays in place. There. I like that better. It was too wobbly before. I didn't like that. All right, and then we're going to take those same rhinestones that we used on the first card, which now we're using the antique pearls that are in that suite. I thought we were using the other ones. And I'm going to use 3 of the little ones and place them on the corner of this banner. Try to get them even spaced. All right, so there's the front of the card. See, the paper does all the work for you, so all you need is a sentiment. And on the inside, we're going to do basic beige layer, which is 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches. And do I have one cut here for it? I don't. I need to grab my basic beige and cut me an innard. I usually have some extras cut already, but I didn't this time. So give me a moment and we'll just cut that down. Paper trimmer. And it's 5 1/4 by 4 inches. So we're going to cut it at 5 1/4 and then cut it in half again. Well, at 4 inches. You're going to have a little left over. I've got 2. And plus a little strip. I keep these for my sentiments. All right, what did I put on the inside? I put, you make my life happier. Pigmento black ink. I'm going to stamp that off to the right side towards the top portion. And to dress this up a little bit, I've already took one of those punch out dies. I'm going to add him to the bottom corner just for a little extra for the inside. He looks like he's happy. Well, come on, glue. Here we go. Dancing at the bottom left-hand corner. I think my bottle of glue is getting towards the end here. I've got to shake it a little bit. And this goes on the inside of the card, leaving a little border going around it. All right, so here we have our card. Thinking of you, you make my life happier. And he does look like he's happy. All right, I'm going to clean up a little bit. We'll show all of our cards here. This one and this one. One fun fold and 2 regular cards today. And let's do a little bit of scooching here. There we go. Okay, so what do you think of the cards today? Do you have a favorite? All right, so today, I didn't even say what the date was today. Today is March 10th, Monday. And so I'll be back next Monday, March 17th at the same time. And I'm not sure what I'm doing yet, but it'll be some new product probably. Depends on what came from UPS today. I think it's mostly cardstock that I ordered this time, so it's probably no fun stuff in it. Well, it's all fun stuff, but no stamp sets, I don't think. All right, so until next week, y'all have a good rest of the week. Get you some time in there to make you some cards. And if you're a scrapbooker, hope you get some time to do that. And don't forget to check out in my store that Stampin' Up! Now has scrapbooking supplies, workshops, and kits available to purchase. So you might want to check that out. All right. So until next week, I want to say thank you for being here. Bye-bye.